Hey guys, I'm Tanik.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Joe.
Today we're going to talk about the life of Deborah Sampson and some of the first women to join the U.S. military.
Sampson was born on December 17th in 1760 in Plimpton, Massachusetts. She was raised in a large family by her mother and father. This was until her father went on a sea voyage and did not return. Her mother took on debt and was not able to care for the children anymore, splitting them up into different homes. Sampson ended up as an indentured servant on a large farm in the South. During this time, she was largely self-educated. She finished her indenture at the age of 18. Following her new freedom, she worked as a teacher for 2 years. In 1872, the Revolutionary War raged on. Sampson felt that she was needed. Her initial attempt to join failed as her true identity was discovered when she tried to join.
To go off the first time she tried to join the military and got caught, when she was signing papers to join, she was seen by an old lady writing just like Deborah Sampson did due to a finger that she lost earlier in her life. The lady then reported her. She ended up being unenlisted, and her alias Timothy Thayer was put to an end. However, she refused to give up and knew that she could enlist again and fight in the military.
This is where the alias Robert Shirtliff came into play. Sampson disguised herself as a man and gave herself the new name Robert Shirtliff to serve in the Continental Army. Robert was later shot in battle and received a head wound.
After that head wound, Joe, Shirtliff had to go see the medic, but hid the bullet wound and only got the head wound taken care of. Later on, she removed the bullet herself from her groin.
Yep, and once the bullet was removed, since she knew she would no longer be able to return to battle, she got permission to take care of injured soldiers as a medic.
After she needed treatment later due to probably the improperly treated bullet wound, her doctor discovered she really was a female and not Robert Shirtliff. The doctor wrote a note for her to give to her general, and once he read it and discovered she was female, she was honorably discharged.
Life after the war was rough for Sampson. Her hometown had abandoned her after her first attempt to join the Continental Army. Sampson soon met her husband, Ben Gannett. It is with him that she raised her family of 5 on a farm in rural Massachusetts of Sharon. The Gannetts struggled, and this was a leading reason for her push for a pension in 1792. When she was in search for her pension, Paul Revere vouched for her positive impact and asked his senator to provide a pension like they would any other veteran from the U.S. military.
Yeah, Alex, as you noted, she made a push for her pension and did receive it, which is what made her case so important. She was the first woman to receive a pension from the United States military for the service. This was up until she passed away in 1827 at the age of 66.
I think it is important to note that she was honorably discharged and not just booted out of the military as a dishonorable discharge. She also received her pension and was the first woman to receive one from the United States military, which is what makes her case so notable.
This really goes to show how people recognize that what she did was very brave and would pave the way for many women in the future.
Going off what you guys just said, Deborah Sampson was one of the first women to join the military and the first to receive a pension for doing so. She, along with other women, paved the way for other women to enlist in the military. One of the other women who helped pave the path was named Margaret Corbin. She first enlisted in the war when her husband was forced into the war, and she enlisted right alongside him. Dressing up in men's clothing, she stood right next to him at Fort Washington and even took his place in battle when he was injured in gunfire. When she took his place, she was eventually wounded, captured, and when she was able to come home, she was permanently disabled. Another woman by the name of Anne Bailey served her time in the war, and when she went to collect her bounty under the name of Samuel Gay, she was discharged from the military, fined, and eventually jailed for multiple weeks.
Without Deborah Sampson, these others would not have been able to do what they did for our country. Deborah Sampson's contribution to the United States military and her service to others helped her earn her pension and pave the way for future generations of women in service.